will give an opening remark, and then he will take questions. Please ask no more than 2 questions. Chief Executive, please. Good morning. There are 2 things I would like to talk about today. First, integration and collaboration with mainland provinces. Since the full resumption of cross-country travel, I and principal officials have paid visits to various provinces to enhance collaboration, communication, and cooperation with them. Through real actions, we are promoting integration of Hong Kong into the national development blueprint. Provincial officials have also paid visits to Hong Kong, showing our close relationships. Over the past 2 days, Mr. Yi Lianhong, Zhejiang Provincial Secretary, and the Fujian Provincial Secretary have led delegations to Hong Kong to explore room for collaboration. I welcome them. Yesterday, I met with Mr. Yi Lianhong, Secretary to the Zhejiang Province, and we attended the opening ceremony of the Hong Kong-Macau Zhejiang Week 2023 together. We witnessed the signing of a cooperation agreement between Hong Kong and Zhejiang on high-quality development, and also 3 agreements on promoting investments in education, sports, and equestrian sports. Now, Zhejiang is an important province in the River Delta region. It has seen rapid development, and it has engaged in digital transformation, and there is immense opportunities and potential for development. Now, in the upcoming Hangzhou Asian Games and also the Special Games, we are going to send a delegation of 1,200 people. This is the largest delegation in history, and also there will be some 200 people, 200 athletes deployed to the Paralympics Games in the city. Now, I wish our athletes good luck. Now, today I will also meet with Mr. Zhou Zhaoyi, Fujian Province Secretary, to explore room for development. Now, Fujian is a frontier province of the country. It has sped up the development of modern service industry. Now, over the past year, the GDP growth was 4.7% higher than the average of 1.7% in the country. Now, together with Jiangxi, they rank top in terms of GDP growth in the country. Now, we have a lot of collaboration with Fujian. Over the past weekend, the International Dragon Boat race was held once again on the Victoria Harbour after a 4-year hiatus. Now, the Fujian team won the dragon boat race. I was pleased to see them triumph. Now, we have established a Fujian-Hong Kong collaboration mechanism. So far, we have held 3 meetings to promote collaboration between the 2 places. Now, tomorrow, we will conduct the 4th meeting under the collaboration mechanism. The Chief Secretary and the Chief Secretary for Administration and the Deputy Secretary will co-chair the meeting, promoting more collaboration. Zhejiang and Fujian are the important provinces in southern China. They are, like Hong Kong, they are also coastal cities. The Hong Kong SAR government attach a lot of importance to the collaboration with Fujian and Zhejiang. We have established liaison offices in both provinces. We believe that we can have bigger room for collaboration with both provinces so that we can contribute to the high-quality development of the country. The second thing I would like to talk about is the new Chief Executive Award Scheme established, proposed by this time of the government. Now, for policy address, I have proposed the Chief Executive reward scheme to reward exemplary performance in the civil service. Now, the purpose of the scheme is to encourage continuous improvement of the civil service, and so that the public can understand the extraordinary performances of our civil servants. Now, the first round of nomination has been opened. Now, head of grades would nominate exemplary performers, and we have formed a selection committee. We have received more than 20 nominations. Many candidates nominated showed exemplary performances in promoting cross-bureau and cross-departmental collaboration. Now, I have made a decision. The first CE's award for exemplary performance goes to the Hong Kong SAR rescue team, which has participated in the rescue work in the Turkey earthquake. Now, the 59 men and women strong rescue team was deployed to Turkey in February. They comprises the colleagues from the fire services departments, the immigration departments, and other disciplinary services. Now, together with 2 rescue dogs, they took with them rescue equipment weighing 8 tons. They reached deep into the earthquake zone, and they faced dangers like aftershocks, collapse of buildings, damaged roads, and cold weather. However, the rescue team did not give up on any opportunity to save lives. After over 200 hours of rescue work, they have successfully rescued 4 victims and found 6 bodies. Now they face all these risks with their enthusiasm and passion for life, and they have completed this monumental task. They have embody the spirit of the CE's Award for Exemplary Performance. I believe the public, like the government, would like to show our gratitude to the rescue team. Now, the ceremony for the award will take place in July. I will announce details soon. Thank you very much.
The floor is now open to questions. If you want to put questions to the CE, please put up your hand. Before putting your questions, please identify your media outlet and please limit yourself to 2 questions. First, on the left, the gentleman in white. Good morning, I'm from TVB. Yesterday, the MPC announced that they will scrutinize a bill on patriotic education. So there will be a targeted approach for people in Macau, Hong Kong, and Taiwan. Given this is a bill, does it show that there were flaws, shortcomings in our patriotic education in the past? If this is indeed implemented, will there be any difference from what we have here in terms of national education and national security education? So how will this be implemented? Yesterday, the Transport Department started cracking down on the abuse of a $2 scheme, but then for the entire day, as at 5 p.m., no case was found. So this will be a 2-month scheme. How much in terms of results do you expect to achieve? And there's another issue where people take a long route transit for short-term trips, and how can we address this problem? Now, I support patriotic education because this will help us build the mainstream values centered on love of our country and Hong Kong and consistent with one country, 2 systems. This is part of the important speech on July 1st last year. I think that we should build up this kind of mainstream values. In terms of patriotic education, Hong Kong has done a lot of work. There's the Chinese history subject. There's also education on the national security law. We also help our students understand national policies. There's national education. We also organize study visits to different cities and provinces on the mainland for our students. All that helps students learn about our country's policies and developments, and also this also helps promote exchange between people in Hong Kong and people in the mainland. This is also about promoting Chinese culture. So the kind of education we have here is consistent with patriotic education. The MPCSC is scrutinizing the bill. Afterwards, they will decide whether to pass it. Now, on whether the law to be passed will apply to Hong Kong and whether we will implement that here, this will have to go through Article 18 of the Basic Law. So there will be consultation of the Basic Law Committee, and the Hong Kong SAR government will also be consulted, and then the MPCSC makes a decision. Whatever the outcome, the SAR government will comply with the requirements of a national government, because we are trying to foster mainstream values centered on love of our country and Hong Kong and consistent with one country, two systems. On national education, patriotic education, elements of them are found in our local education curriculum too. So there will not be any differences between what we are teaching our students here and what's in the mainland. And this is also consistent with our local circumstances. Patriotic education is supposed to promote patriotism. It's supposed to be rational, inclusive, and open, and also shows respect for history, traditions, and this will also incorporate the achievements of human civilization. Now, we are an international city. We are also an open and inclusive city. So whatever we do here, including patriotic education, and also staying connected in terms of openness, inclusiveness, these aspects are also consistent with the bill being scrutinized by the MPCSC. Now turning to the crackdown on misuse of the $2 scheme. It's a high-profile effort. There are two goals. First, deterrence. Second, education. With this high-profile operation, I believe most people will come to see this. First, this mechanism cannot be abused. Most people are law-abiding citizens. With this operation, we want to stress that there are serious consequences for abusing the mechanism. So education matters. And second, with this operation to crack down on abuse, I want to show people that there will be enforcement. There will be consequences for abusing the mechanism. Now, after this high-profile operation, there will also be surprise checks. So that will be done without prior warning. This is a routine measure in law enforcement. I believe most people are law-abiding citizens. So we hope education along with enforcement and will curb abuse. Now, in terms of putting the mechanism, making good use of it, and we will study that. But the priority now is to curb abuse of the mechanism. For those who think they can get away with abusing the system, this operation is there to show them the severity of what they do. Next question. On the left, the lady at the back.
From RTHK. So firstly, because this is your first year in office, could you tell us how would you rate in the past year your achievements and also inadequacies, if any, under your leadership? And can you share with us your goals for the coming year? And secondly, about the award, you just mentioned the CE's Award for exemplary performance. Could you share with us the criteria and the reason for the rescue team to have won this award? Thank you.
It's almost 1 year since I assumed the office of the chief executive. My experience and feeling about this year is there is a lot of things that require us to do. The demand of the work is heavy, but the meaning of the work that I'm required to do is also most important. We have lost 3 years' time because of COVID and also because of the 2019 violence and chaos. So there are a lot of things we would have liked to do, but didn't do as we wish because of the two problems. So we have to really trace back the time. So the amount of things that we want to do, of course, amount to really a lot. And that will mean full commitment by myself and my team. And we will ensure that we will contribute our best, our efforts, our time, and energy to ensure that this is done properly. All the decisions I make affect everybody in society, so it is a heavy burden, a heavy responsibility that I must discharge very carefully to ensure that the decisions I make have taken into consideration of all the factors. That is why I emphasize on the need to listen to different views. And I have been accepting views. At the end of the day, of course, I have to make decision out of the different opinions. But I will take the overall interests of Hong Kong to make the decision. My second take of this 1 year's work is in deciding what to do and how we go forward. It is important that decision makers are willing to make decisive decisions, even if the decisions may not be pleasant to everyone. But at the end of the day, we need to make decision because indecision is the worst outcome. So despite the fact that there may be a lot of times when we roll out new measures and make new decisions, particularly in respect of issues that are controversial, there will be a high chance that we will have to make decisions even if there are some sectors of the community who may not agree. But I think in almost all decisions by the government, it will be very difficult to have a matter which receives 100% unanimous decision or opinion. So we have to make decision after consulting, after listening to respective views, and then make a decisive decision. But I think people are also very reasonable and pragmatic. When I meet people in districts, they are very realistic about the fact that some of the problems may not be solved immediately, or they know that even if there's a good intention of the government trying to solve a particular problem, then it will take a process and it will take time. People are being so reasonable. It is important that we explain more why we make a particular decision and explain why we have to consider this as a priority issue, and also tell of the remedial measures or the mitigating measures that we are introducing, so as the people know that for the overall interest of Hong Kong, the government has come to this decision. What does it mean to me? It means that communication, attitude are important. And this is the belief that I have, and I will continue to do my governance of Hong Kong under that belief. There are things that I think that meet my expectation more. There are things that we need to work harder, of course. The things that I think we have met the expectation higher is in regard to the attraction of talents. We have set a target for attracting 35,000 talents in each year, but in 5 months already we have approved already 49,000 such applications. So it's likely that we will be able to beat the target quite a lot. But of course, I'm glad that the resumption of normal travel with mainland and also our connection with the world has brought back the vibrancy, happiness, and economic impetus to Hong Kong. As people will see that in the past months, tourism has come back. We have already hit the targets of achieving what we want in respect of tourism. And of course, we're in somewhat constrained by our capacity, but the capacity is catching up quick. The 10 million target of tourists visiting Hong Kong has already been reached in 5 months. So we are positive that growth will continue in respect of tourism and consumption, and they will be the driving engines for growth in the coming year. We are optimistic that this year it will be a positive growth between 3.5 to 5.5%, which reversed the contraction of last year. Of course, the economic situation around the world is not bright, and also geopolitical complexity is another challenge. But we have the national development strategies to support our growth, the GBA development, and also One Belt One Road opportunities. So I'm optimistic that consumption, tourism will help boosting our economic performance. In fact, the income median figure, the median income of a family has already shown 2.1% increase in the first quarter. I hope the trend will continue, and I think the trend will continue in the direction of positive upward trend. In the coming years, of course, the challenges remain on, first of all, land and housing provision. This has been the most challenging task for government over the years. We'll have to continue working hard. The targets I have set in my policy address, some are short-term, but most of them are long-term and relate to a 5-year period. We have set various targets. We are progressing, I think, in general, positively in respect of all the things that we have promised to do. Also, I think we need to do more to open up opportunities for Hong Kong's economic development. So we have to work hard to tell the world of Hong Kong's opportunities. I will be making visits overseas together with Hong Kong delegations. So these are things that we'll be working hard. And of course, developing local talents, developing their skills so that the local workforce will be more equipped and more trained will be another target of the government in the coming period of time. In regard to Xi's award for exemplary performance, then in my statements, I've already described the importance and the purpose of the award is to really encourage government teams or government servants to do their best so as to achieve a level of excellence. There will always be the better. There will never be the best. But it is important they will act in accordance of a belief of continuous improvement and with the goal of always striking for excellence. I will use the awardees as examples to tell the civil service what are the things I want them to do. So if it is through awarding to the actual team whose work will tell the exemplary stories of what I would like to promote and I would like the civil service to subscribe to and work to. So it is a level of excellence that I want them to take as their day-to-day culture and doctrine. The selection committee, of course, sets high standards, and this includes a level which beyond general standard. It means a high level of cooperation. It means an attitude for doing beyond what is just basically required. So these are all standards that will be taken into consideration in looking at the cases. But the cases will be judged based on its own merits and based on the circumstances at the time.
時間關係咧，我哋解答今日最後。
We're almost out of time, so we'll take the last question. On the left, the lady at the front. I'm from Phoenix TV. 2 questions. July 1st is coming up. There will be free activities coming up. There will also be Happy Hong Kong activities. In terms of boosting domestic demand, are we seeing results? We have seen knife attacks recently. People are calling for control on knives. Will the government consider relevant measures?
First of all, about Happy Hong Kong. We have a host of activities to promote local consumption and also local fairs. The response from the public is very active, and people are very happy. These are good activities for them to enjoy during holidays. And there is a boosting effect to the economy through consumption. As I said, the 2 pillars of our economy are tourism and local consumption. And also with the disbursements of the consumption vouchers, we have seen positive effects on the economy. Now, in various sectors, we have seen increase in spending ranging from a few percentage points to more than 10 percentage points. We are seeing an increase in consumption, and it is very good for our local economy. Now, with more activities and more consumption in the community, the economy will be more vibrant. Now, there are lots of media reports on wounding cases in the community. Now, if you look at the number of wounding cases compared with year 2019, that is before the epidemic, in terms of battery cases or assault cases, we have seen a drop of such cases. Of course, compared with last year, there is an increase. Now, the Secretary for Security has mentioned when he talked about the crime figures over the past year, it was because of the reduced activities under the epidemic. As a result, the number was not the normal figures. Now, compared with the pre-pandemic level in year 2019, actually the number of assault cases this year has dropped. Now, of course, compared with last year, this year, our life has returned to normal, so there was an increase. Now, in terms of wounding cases, compared with the figures in 2019 or last year, there is a drop this year. So I would ask you not to be over worried, but we also understand we have several cases receiving a lot of spotlight, and the media is very sensitive about this sort of cases. That's why I have tasked the police force to step up high-profile patrol in various districts. High-profile patrol is very effective in prevention of crime. Now, on night controls, at present, we have a very effective scheme, and I think it is still effective. Now, there are already legislation preventing knives being used for illegal purposes, and there have been a lot of successful prosecutions on such cases. Now, the existing legislation is suitable for our actual needs. It has struck a balance between ordinary daily life needs and knife control. There is a balance. So the figures I gave you just now tell us that in terms of violence cases, the level is similar to the pre-pandemic level. Hong Kong is still one of the safest cities in the world. But we will not let our guard down. We will ensure that people are safe in Hong Kong, that Hong Kong is still a very safe city. When we ask visitors to Hong Kong, they also find Hong Kong to